Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners, a podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive into the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson, and with me, as always, is my co-host and fellow detective, Stairmaster.
Hello. Let's solve a mystery.
And with us, as always, is our other co-host and boy who's been murdered for a strange ritual, Kiorein.
Oh no! Who could have done this?
Who done did this?
Who done it?
Oh, I know who did it.
Oh, who?
Who?
Now, this is going to be a big twist, so hold on to your seats, boys. It was actually Stairmaster, the detective.
The true detective?
What's the true criminal?
Wow.
Yes.
That sounds like something I would watch in a Werner Herzog film. In the end, the truest detective was also the truest criminal.
Perhaps they have forgotten how to live in a world without murder.
Anyway, we are back in the year of our Lord 2019 with new episodes.
Of television to talk about.
Yes, we're fresh-faced and ready to take on the world.
And really cold.
Yeah, it's cold in this world that we live in.
How about that weather, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I drank 1.25 gallons of root beer, so I've got lots of energy for this podcast.
Wow.
That's a good way to hype yourself up. Anyway, what'd you boys watch this past week?
I watched The Game, starring Michael Douglas.
Oh, I've seen that.
It's good.
It's pretty alright. That's David Fincher's first movie.
Didn't it come after 7?
No, it's before. I am pretty sure.
I think it came after 7.
I think. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
I think. Who cares?
I think I watched some more Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, how's your adventure going?
Oh, it's pretty good. I think we're past the point where you guys said it would get bad, and I don't think it got bad yet.
Oh, you've watched like 3 seasons already?
Yeah.
How'd you feel when that guy died?
I was like, oh my god, look at that.
How'd you feel when all those people died roughly at the same time?
I was like, whoa.
How'd you feel when those 2 ladies were naked and making out?
I was like, nice.
In front of your mom?
Yeah, I was just like, yeah.
No, I don't think.
She gave me this look.
I think it's quicker to notice the show declining in quality if you read the books, because they start stripping some of the nuance out of it. But for a TV show viewer, it might not be immediately obvious.
Yeah, well, I'm not reading them books.
Oh,
Keo and I have time for that. Well, at the rate Kiorain's going, Keo will be caught up just in time for the final season.
Yeah, that's the idea, actually. My mom wants to get me caught up so we can watch the last season together.
Oh, you're going to have to tell her that you can't watch the premiere episode with her because you got to watch it for the podcast.
Aw. Swanson's a homewrecker.
She's going to be really mad at you, Swanson. She's probably going to get her gun and come after you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Also, Stairmaster was right. The Game was his follow-up to 7.
Yes!
Anyway, what are your Game of Thrones thoughts so far, Kiorein?
It's pretty good.
Who should?
Some parts are kind of like I want to get past it because they're just people I don't care about talking.
Do you think that Stannis is the Manus?
Well,
probably not the word I'd use to describe him. No.
Oh, ironically, he's like the least worst candidate for the king throne.
Who would you put on the king throne? Kiorein.
The spiky one.
I'm gonna put that guy. I forgot his name, but he's Jon Snow's friend.
Samwell?
The fat, yeah, him.
Samwise. Gingrich.
I think he'd be a pretty good king.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be too busy reading all the time.
a nerd.
Reading how to make the kingdom better.
What a dweeb. He's not fit to be king.
He'd be like Jeb Bush, I think.
Please clap.
I mean, you don't need charisma to be the king, though. You just have to be in the throne.
I think you do need charisma to be the king.
Well, you need guys with swords backing you up.
Yeah, at the very least. I guess he has
You clearly
that.
don't. You clearly don't. Like, they had literal mass murderer kings with no
Yeah,
charisma, and they were just
but
like,
he
"Oh,
had-
he's the king."
Yeah,
Are you going to tell me that Daenerys' grandfather wasn't like... I feel like that madman had some charisma. He's like, I'm going to steal this lady and stick her in a tower.
Also, he did have 4 of the houses backing him up.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I guess there's nothing more charismatic than locking a woman up somewhere.
Oh, there's one cool thing that, if you read the books, you get to see is foreshadowing for the Boltons being bad people. Because they go into detail, like the war in Season 1. And, like, Bolton deliberately puts other guys' forces into the meat grinder instead of his own. And that's, like, an early indicator that he's not on the level.
You trying to get me to read?
Yes.
Wow. Sounds like Stairmaster's trying to get you to read books.
First, he wants me to read manga, which is already a really tall order. Now he wants me to just read text words on a textbook.
Manga's like half a book.
Yeah.
It's not happening. This is a TV podcast. We're here to talk about television.
Yeah, this isn't book browsers.
Ooh, we should make that. And then talk about how we didn't read the book yet because it's too long.
I was busy.
Well, I didn't finish it.
We can talk about the book's cover.
Yeah. Oh, well, the book is still sitting there. I haven't touched it.
The one book we're all supposed to share
Yeah.
is on the desk in front of us as we record.
I've watched a lot of things. I watched
Wow!
I watched Bird Box. That was a movie. It was all right.
So are they like trapped in a box, and birds are trying to kill them?
No.
Is there a box with birds in it and they're trying to get them out?
There is a box with birds in it, but they're not trying to get them out.
Is there a scene
They're trying to keep them in because the birds are going to kill everyone.
No.
Is there a scene where an old man runs into a phone booth and is like, "I need your biggest bird seed"? No, that's too big.
No.
Oh,
All right, I'm closing the floor for questions about Bird Box.
okay.
I also watched the return of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's a good show.
I thought you were gonna say Return of the King.
Yeah, I rewatched Return of the King. I just finished
The
it a
extended
week
edition.
later.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Christopher Lee.
Yeah, very recent death to mourn. Anyway, before we get on to the news, there was something that happened last week that needs to be discussed.
We had an encounter.
We were going to return last week, but before our episode was finished recording, government agents came in and stole Kiorein.
That was a real adventure.
Also, they asked us not to record the episode. And we
Yeah, they
obliged.
said it was too high risk. Too much confidential information was being, spewed out by us.
But anyway.
Do you guys want to hear about my mission?
No, not really.
Okay.
All right, tell us a little bit.
Well, they gave me a gun.
Wow.
Do you want more details?
Just a little bit.
All right, and I ended up firing that gun 3
Okay,
times.
that's too much.
All right, wow, sounds like a great adventure for you, all right?
Thanks.
Anyways, yeah.
I met a new friend. His name was Charles.
Okay, that's too much. Anyways, last week we watched a show called Project Blue Book,
Yeah, we were, and we barely remember anything about it.
which is ironic because it aired on the History Channel.
That show's gonna be history.
Yeah, I got some complaints, but what do you remember from it, Swanson?
I remember. Well, first let's go through the basic premise because I'm sure no one has heard of this show. Maybe like one person listening to us has heard of it already.
It's supposed to be like the X-Files, except they're pretending it actually happened.
Yes, because it's the History Channel, it's their first. I don't know if it's their first foray, but it's one of their first forays into scripted
Vikings
dramas. Oh yeah, that's on the History Channel, isn't it?
Yeah, and that seems more historical than this.
But Project Blue Book is a government project that we did in the 50s.
That
try
we
and
collectively, us TV tuners,
as the United States of America, of which we are all.
It was us.
Don't you remember?
Huh?
Please, Swanson, wake up!
We can't flash back. We did that too much last time.
Yeah, we used up all of our tape.
Yeah, and they were trying to disprove aliens and UFOs and stuff.
Project Blue Book was just to figure out what UFOs was scientifically.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, most of them were weather balloons.
But that doesn't make for great television. And neither did this, oddly enough.
They needed to have some kind of great dramatic conspiracy going on.
Literal Illuminati laboratories where they brainwash people.
Yeah.
Which actually did happen, but that was in the 1960s.
Yeah, they're off by a decade. But the show was...
I don't think it was alien related.
Yeah.
Probably not. It was
LSD.
Yeah, it was LSD related. The show tries to center its dynamic around this military guy and the scientist boy.
And the scientist boy is played by Mr. Game of Thrones himself.
It's true. But
yeah, I don't trust like that.
But there is zero chemistry between the two of them.
Well, probably because one of them is Aidan Gillian from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, there's no chemistry between the two of them, and half the time it looks like their scenes aren't even filmed together.
He was too busy being Irish.
I'm pretty sure they just edited him in from Game of Thrones and added him to this show.
Yeah, they just photoshopped that Walter Whitebeard on him.
They put him on a green screen in his trailer and filmed it. What were some other points you wanted to talk about, Stan?
Well, it's complete historical bullshit.
The show seems to insinuate that there actually was an alien cover-up in the government.
The incident that they have in the cold open, the guy dogfighting, is blatantly inaccurate. They altered it on a number of levels, and I'm not which would be fine if this wasn't a historical-based show, I think.
Wait, are you telling me History Channel, the show that has numerous shows about how aliens might have built the pyramids instead of not white people, is getting something factually incorrect?
Yeah. For one thing, they named the guy... The guy they named in the show as the pilot was named Henry Fuller. In real life, the guy's name was George Gorman.
Yeah, but Henry Fuller, that sounds like a pilot name. Because planes need fuel.
And this show takes place in 1951, but this incident took place in 1948. Also, the plane didn't shoot any rounds because it was doing a cross-country flight. And would have no reason to have bullets on it. And the guy didn't, nearly stall out and get himself killed.
Yeah, what's the... Keo, did you have something you were going to say?
Yeah, wasn't there, a scene in the opening where there was some government guy saying, how are we going to cover this up? We can't have the masses learn about this.
Yeah, and he was watching The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Which also is kind of anachronistic, but...
Yeah, isn't that, 1955?
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing I remember most about this episode, well, two things. Is one, yes. There was a useless sequence in the middle where they recreate the experience for no reason, and the guy almost purposely kills them.
No, I think he just did it on accident.
Yeah, I guess he did. I guess he was doing it on accident, but to prove a point, he almost murders them.
Can we talk about how bad the plane CGI is?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It looked like a PlayStation 2 graphic. In fact, they use CGI for the plane when they're in the hangar. They couldn't even get a prop of the plane.
Well, that's expensive. I mean, come on.
It's not like that was one of the most widely built fighter planes of all time or anything.
They couldn't get these two actors to film together, and you expect them to get a plane on there?
Well, I do want to at least give them some credit for having that mysterious man appear by the plane crash and then disappear.
Oh,
and then,
yeah, that guy.
And then there's a really, like, very, very,
slowly.
low, very slow chase.
It's slower than the one in Samurai Cop.
They're going, like, 2 miles an hour, and then he gets lightly tapped in his, like, he gets lightly tapped by the other car. He's like, oh, God!
Oh, do we want to talk about the wife?
That was the other thing that I was going to say that I remember, which is that there's a subplot where the wife goes shopping.
Yeah, and she meets this lady, and I thought she was just cruising, but...
I don't know. This seems like the weirdest
but it's a
thing.
Russian spy.
It seems like she ends up being a Russian spy, but like before that, it's just the weirdest thing in the world because she shows up, she starts talking to this lady, and it's a lot of like dialogue that feels like these writers time traveled. It feels like these writers time traveled from the 1950s to write for this subplot right here because she's like, I can't wait to get this for my husband. He's a real doll.
I think it would have been more interesting if that lady had just been gay, and they had a subplot about figuring it out.
Stare, it's the 1950s. Gay people don't exist.
Yeah, and if they did, they'd be thrown in a volcano.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure only men were gay back then.
Yeah, that's why we had Liberace. All right. Does anyone else have any thoughts on Project Blue Book?
Oh, I got a fun fact.
Uh-oh.
After World War II, they were just like selling the fighter that the guy flew. They were selling models of those for like $1,500. So they're actually very common in the civilian aviation.
Look, man, I don't know what you expect
like
from this
204
show.
of them. There's like 204 privately owned ones still flying today, which is pretty good for an aircraft that's 70 years old.
I feel like
you're gonna buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it'd go for $1 million.
Support our Patreon to help our fund for a biplane.
A monoplane.
Monoplane.
It was from World War II, dummy.
A heteroplane.
Hetero.
All right, is that everyone's thoughts?
Well, I can talk about biplanes in World War II if you're curious.
No.
This is not the World War II cast.
Oh.
All right, let us close the Blue Book then. That was a tune out, I guess, if you couldn't pick up on it.
Also, there was a plot about the UFO communicating through radio songs like Bumblebee from the Transformers movie, which also was not in the historical UFO incident.
Look, you gotta add stuff in there to give it a little zest,
Anyways, we got some news.
We sure do, pal. The Simpsons. That's a show that somehow is still on the air.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, go on!
And, of course, late-run Simpsons episodes have always tread the ground between mediocrity and actively irritating mediocrity. In a recent episode, it seemed to go to the latter when we got a bit of an inside joke from the Simpsons writers. Homer used a GIF, the GIF of Homer going into the bushes
of himself, walking famously back into the hedges. While staring ahead blankly.
What are the consequences of this in universe?
Well, there's a lot of metaphysical questions to be addressed, but
yeah. So
I just like the idea. I like the idea that they use the oldest Simpson meme. They couldn't get any new ones like the Sugar guys or the Lemon Face.
That's coming up. That's
or
coming
the
up
Bible
in 2020.
Spider.
That's coming up in 2022.
Oh.
That's when they'll have those.
By then, they won't be making Simpsons memes anymore.
Oh no, they'll still be there. You
We
think
got
the internet,
ideas for years!
You think the internet will give up?
No.
We've been doing Simpsons memes for as long as the internet has existed, Stare.
Like, it's actually kind of shocking that they didn't go for steamed hams. Since I think that was the most prominent.
Well,
it wouldn't have worked with the joke they were doing.
I'll make
Yeah.
a different joke. They make
Or-
like 20 episodes a season. They could have fit it in somewhere else.
or here's my idea: don't make this joke.
Don't make these episodes.
Stop.
Look, I'm just imagining now that there's some kind of man filming everything
That's
in the
what I
Simpsons
mean.
universe.
Like, what does this mean? Does this mean like Homer's internet famous, and he has his own GIF of him disappearing into some bushes?
Yeah, and why does it look like it's animated in the 1990s while the scene where it's seen is modern animation? Does that mean that the universe looks different over time?
Is it a cartoon image of him going into some bushes?
Also, what are the implications of Lisa having a smartphone?
Why does Homer have a smartphone?
Well, The Simpsons takes place in modern day. That's why they updated Marge and Homer to be married in the 90s.
Yeah, but if you give them smartphones, that means there's less sitcom plots you can do.
Sitcoms have evolved, Stairmaster. They're not all Jerry Seinfeld anymore.
Oh. Do you think Seinfeld's been on The Simpsons?
Actually, I don't know. I'd have to assume at some point, right?
Look, I just think the universe of The Simpsons is irrevocably ruined.
Yes!
Well, yeah.
Ever since they revealed he wasn't Principal Skinner.
I have to assume in the next episode, Principal Skinner says there's something about steamed hams, right?
Probably. They made a joke about that in the comics.
Well, yeah, that's a no man's land. That's, anything goes.
I used to collect those when I was a kid.
Collect them?
I mean, I would buy them from the comic book store.
You bought steamed hams from the comic book store?
No, the Simpsons comics. Please. Don't do me like this.
I mean, if that's what you want to eat, Sarah, it doesn't matter if you want to eat comic books.
Yeah, I mean, comic books probably grill the same. All right, moving on to another animated show, one less...
Well, that's entertaining.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Last Sunday, Fox aired a long-awaited Family Guy episode.
I'm sorry, what day was that?
Sunday.
Say Sunday!
Oh, that's what you wanted me to say?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, where Peter Griffin takes a job working at the White House. And then Donald Trump sexually assaults his daughter.
I mean, that's very serious.
Well, I mean, it's played for a
just...
joke, so I don't know if it's that serious.
That sounds about the level Family Guy's at.
Also, The Simpsons has already done like 2 extended riffs on the Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Not even counting their famous prophecy.
Not even counting the fact that Mr. Burns is pretty much Donald Trump.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure Mr. Burns has never said the N-word. No, I swear by that.
Yeah, it's
you want
true.
Me to make a Twitter poll?
It's true. Mr. Burns isn't Donald Trump. He's clearly Citizen Kane. Anyway, there's a minutes-long fist fight between Donald Trump and Peter Griffin, because that's how Family Guy do. And
that's what we call a joke, Swanson.
Don't they use the music from the Chicken Man fight?
I would have to assume it's a riff on the Chicken Man fight, yeah. AKA the time when Family Guy was like, oh, okay, that's fun.
Relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will make time for this in our lives. They've done at least 3 of those, and a 4th one with Homer Simpson.
But recently, the executive producers of the show sat down for an interview where they gave the usual BS. We have no political angle answers for all of their stuff. Saying it would be no different if a Democrat were doing something idiotic. And all the stuff to try and not, alienate the part of their fan base that would be into this.
To be bipartisan, next week they'll have an episode where Bill Clinton rapes Meg.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't put that
or I guess
past
Joe
them.
Biden would be more relevant.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I just went there.
it's pretty wild.
Wait, did Joe Biden do something?
Well, there's like hours of footage of him being gross to women on camera.
I mean, if we want to go there, if we want to go there, maybe they'll do one where Bernie Sanders is also accused of it.
Oh no! Not Bernie. He's our nation's peepaw.
So yeah, what they the most interesting thing that came out of this interview was a line where one of the producers said that lately they've been trying to phase out gay jokes. To quote,
And by that, are they just gonna like do a live execution of that gay dog character?
I like that guy.
the dog isn't gay, the baby's gay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that gay guy.
No. There's a gay dog. He's like Brian's cousin or something.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that character still like is around on the show.
Also, there's a guy who sounds like Emmett Till. I think he was gay.
Emmett Till or the guy who sounds like him?
The guy who sounds like him.
Okay.
It's rude to speculate on people's sexuality, Swanson.
Well, you're the one who said it. So to quote the producer, the show has to shift and evolve in a lot of different ways to reflect the way culture changes.
Now we're taking on the straights.
But yeah, it seems
Quagmire will be put to death.
It seems pretty weird to decide that gay jokes aren't okay when you also have an episode where Donald Trump did just sexually assault someone. And it was played as a joke.
A main member of your cast.
Yeah, a main member of your cast.
They're also like how many years? Like a decade behind on that.
Yeah. Also, of course, this is the same show that's had like numerous jokes about Quagmire, you know,
raping people, including Marge Simpson.
Yeah, and then murdering the entire Simpsons.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, good time. Family Guy is bad.
Yeah, I'm glad it got canceled. And not really glad that it got renewed.
The Simpsons, yeah, it's weird. The Simpsons and Family Guy both ended at the same time.
Yeah. Funny how that worked out.
What a great world we live in.
Now let's get to serious matters, guys.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Netflix has released some devastating news.
Yes?
They are raising their prices.
To what?
Higher.
To what?
Higher.
$26?
Yes. No. The monthly rates are raising from $11 to $13, and for 4K streaming content, it's $16 instead of $14.
Oh. But this means they're going to have more content, right?
Yeah.
I mean, more content that they make. Yeah, sure. This price hike most likely has to do with, you know, the numerous streaming services that are on the horizon. Of course, there's the Death Star of streaming services, Disney Plus, that's coming out soon.
Wait, so because they're getting more competition, they're raising their prices?
Yeah, Disney Plus is going to be about the same price.
Oh.
So, and also Warner Media is releasing their own streaming service. Same with NBC Universal, so that's like all of Netflix's output that they don't own.
So what you're saying is the final crisis of capitalism is near.
The final crisis of streaming services, yeah. I think it's wishful thinking to think the final crisis of capitalism is anywhere other than like a decade away.
Back in my day, we just sat down on the couch and we had a cable box and we just
enjoyed all 96 channels.
That's right. That's right.
You could get the Disney Channel and they played Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog on that.
And we didn't have a DVR. We had to actually watch the show when it came on.
If I wanted to watch Aladdin, the animated series, I'd have to know that it came on at 3 o'clock right when I got home from school.
Or set up my VHS to record Hysteria Babies, whatever.
Hysteria Babies?
I don't.
VHS recording kept our people strong.
They were babies, but they were also historical.
Yeah, Historia
Had to
babies,
put the work
not
in.
Hysteria babies.
Well, I can't
What are you
remember.
talking about?
I can't remember. I was catching my bets.
Well, Hysteria babies sounds like they're just hysterical.
Oh no! Someone calm these babies down.
Anyway, the streaming service Arms Race is on. Or at least it will be at the end of the year.
I hope that means we get healthy competition and great options.
Begun. The streaming wars have.
You suck.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it was a good joke. All right. That's it for the news.
Apologies if you heard that on another podcast, because I'm sure statistically speaking.
Apologies to Yoda. Apologies to Frank.
Whoa. For the next segment, the lighting in here just got a lot dimmer and more menacing.
Whoa, I wonder why. Is it because it's time for the Stairmaster Minute?
No.
That's right. It's a minute of just pure, unadulterated Stairmaster. What do you got, Stair?
Oh, okay, so I wanted to talk about this last week, but I had this dream. Zachary Quinto was in my house, and I was like, oh, cool, it's Zachary Quinto from Heroes and Star Trek and Season 3 of 24. And I really made fun of him for his character on 24 not doing anything. And he was like, haha, you're right. And then I just sort of got this sense of omen that he's like, oh, he's in my house and he's here to kill me. So I ran down to find the gun that's in my house, and I couldn't find it. So I grabbed a katana instead. But he had a staff. And for some reason, 2 other dudes were in there fighting him as well, and I was fighting him. But we couldn't land a single blow on him. He was too powerful. And then I woke up in a feverish sweat. End up with that story.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Stair. What a great time. And that's the Stairmaster Minute.
Yeah. Don't edit out that long pause, Swanson.
I never do.
I thought it was a minute. I thought that was a full minute.
It was. Well, I mean, with the pause, it was.
Oh.
All right. Let's get on to some new stuff. As you boys know, a new year means that it's time for the mid-season in the television lineup, which means that it's time to play Guess Who's Coming to the Mid-Season TV schedule. Hit the theme, Kiorein.
Bum 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 bum.
Great theme.
Do.
Ooh, all right. Little Stairmaster remix. All right. So the name of this game, of course, is I will give you the title of an upcoming show, and you will give me your ideas of what you think this is about. The closest person wins for that, and the person who has the most at the end wins the game, and maybe a little something else.
Ooh.
All right. This first title is Proven Innocent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
So
Well, I figured it out.
So there's this guy, and he was accused of being a serial killer who killed 8 people. But it turned out he was innocent, and now he's gloating about it on TV for the entire series.
I was going to say it's a detective who has to solve cold cases of people who are already incarcerated to find the real criminal.
Okay.
But that wasn't very funny, so that's why I hesitated.
All right, well, let's see which one of you is the most correct. Proven Innocent focuses on a wrongful conviction firm led by a fierce and fearless female lawyer with a hunger for justice. The team reopens investigations, putting their own lives in danger to exonerate the innocent that were proven guilty. The leader's motivation comes from her infamous past. As a young adult, she was found guilty and later exonerated in a high-profile case, in which she became a tabloid sensation. She defends others as she fights to maintain her own innocence.
Well, I was right, but I think Kia's answer was better for the podcast.
Well,
Also, I somehow managed to predict being like some kind of media sensation.
yeah, which is pretty wild. Most interesting from this starring list is Kelsey Grammer, a.k.a. Frasier.
What?
Don't know what he's doing here. Anyway, Stairmaster gets a point.
Yeah. I'm going to spend it on alcohol.
Don't spend it all in one place. All right. This next one is The Passage.
The Passage?
The Passage.
Okay, so it's about a priest. And...
He's trying to figure out how to involve the Bible in this.
he can do magic by performing Bible verses.
Performing?
By chanting them.
Okay. I will allow chant, I guess.
What?
How do you chant a Bible verse? John 3:16, so God so loved the world.
If he does Austin 3:16, a bunch of beer falls from the sky.
Oh, worth.
All right, so stepping away from book passages, we're going to talk about
This is a weird
some kind of tunnel.
Oh.
So the passage is about this man who finds some kind of hidden tunnel that leads into like some kind of strange underground kingdom where something bad's going to happen and the world's in danger? ?
Okay, all right. Wow, let's see. Which one of you got the passage most right? A secret government medical facility is experimenting with a dangerous virus that could either cure all disease or cause the downfall of the human race. The series focuses on 10-year-old Amy Belafonte, who is chosen, by the way, the most New York last name, who is chosen to be a test subject for this experiment, and Brad Wolgast, the federal agent who becomes her surrogate father as he tries to protect her.
From what? Illness?
The government.
But the government's the one giving her.
She's a test subject for this experiment. Anyway,
Yes, held by the government.
Hey, it's Amy Belafonte! Anyway, Kia was most right because he predicted that something dangerous would happen in the world. So, tied right now. All right. Those were the two mid-season ones for Fox, by the way. Next up, we're going to do the 3 for ABC.
Yeah, but my show was better. My show would have been better.
Sure, but it's not the show. All right. This one is called Schooled.
Okay, so... Cedric the Entertainer is teaching at an inner-city high school.
Wow, pulling double duty.
What do you mean? It's not like his other sitcom's still airing, right?
I think The Neighborhood's still on for at least the rest of the season.
Oh, no!
Shoutouts to former episode The Neighborhood.
Anyway, yeah, he's teaching this inner-city high school, and his classmates are all a bunch of students are a bunch of delinquents. But he's got a no-nonsense attitude, and he's going to teach them a little something about life. Also, frequently they make jokes about him being old and out of touch with what the young folk like.
Kiorein?
Okay, well, I think this has to be about school, so I'm going to go with another school situation, except I'm not going to make it so specific. I'm not going to cast an actor.
Okay. I think you have to give me a little more than this is a school situation with this title.
We have a situation at the school.
I'm
Send all units.
I'm giving you my reasoning, okay? So it's about a school with an in-your-face teacher who ridicules their students for getting the answers incorrect.
Hold on. So he kills his students, but you said he's in your face. So did he wear his baseball cap backwards?
Where did you get kills?
Yeah, where did the word kill come into play there. I said ridicule.
Oh, I thought Keo said kill.
Ridicule and kill? Ridicule.
Sorry, everyone.
And his or her catchphrase is, "You just got schooled because you got the answer wrong."
Do students cry?
I would imagine they do, and it's a very, very depressing show.
I remember in 5th grade we had a substitute teacher who made the Muslim kid in our class cry.
How?
She was very mean. She was like a 60-year-old lady who was very stern.
Was there something Muslim about the situation, or are you just adding a detail?
I just remember that there was a Muslim kid who cried.
Okay.
Very bold choice from Kiorein to suggest that something that rarely happens on television, which is that the signature character's catchphrase is part of the title. All right. Let's see which one of you got Schooled. Correct. Set in 1990-something, Schooled is a spin-off of The Goldbergs and follows the hilarious faculty of William Penn Academy, led by new music teacher and WP graduate Lainey Lewis, including young, enthusiastic super teacher Charlie Brown, or CB for short. Despite their eccentricities and crazy personal lives, these teachers are heroes to their students. So, I guess Keo got it?
You said if they're heroes to their students, that sounds more like my thing.
Yeah, because Keo specifically said he was going to make them cry. Yeah, Stair gets another point.
Yes!
No Cedric the Entertainer, but,
Stair sabotaged me by asking me if they cry.
Nobody said you had to answer my questions.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, Keo, right?
That'd be rude. That'd be bad podcasting for me to
The
just
defense
ignore
rests.
you.
Anyway, no Cedric the Entertainer, but there is a Tim Meadows in this, so. All right. This one is called Whiskey Cavalier.
You have anything, Stair?
That Cavalier. That's a type of car, so it's about a guy with a hot rod.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, so Whiskey Cavalier is about a mysterious figure who is an alcoholic and goes on adventures. That's all I have.
Wow. What was Stairs again? A guy drives a car?
He's got a hot rod.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's in the car, right? It sounds like a car.
Well...
I think of it more of like a medieval thing.
Before I read the description, I will say this.
Okay, so it's a period drama set in, like, the English Civil War. There you have it.
You're changing your answer?
Wow, bold choice. All right. Let's see what Whiskey Cavalier is. A high-octane, hour-long action dramedy that follows the adventures of tough but tender FBI super agent Will Chase, codename Whiskey Cavalier, because it's, W and C for the code. Following an emotional breakup, Chase is assigned to work with badass CIA operative Francesca Frankie Trowbridge, codename Fiery Tribune. Together, they lead an interagency team of flawed, funny, and heroic spies who periodically save the world. That's my editorializing. There's no question mark there. While navigating the rocky roads of friendship, romance, and office politics.
I just like how they just kind of tack on saving the world. Like, oh yeah, also the world's saved.
So yeah, that's Whiskey Cavalier. This is a tough one because neither of you came close at all. Wow. What was KO's again?
About a mysterious figure who's an alcoholic and goes on adventures.
I guess he goes on adventures, so.
Yep.
All right, we're tied. All right, just in time for this final one. The Fix.
Whoever wins, we lose. Oh, okay. So it's like a Ray Donovan type show about a guy who gets the fix in. Except he's doing he's rigging sporting events.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you want to go first, Keo.
Okay, well, you kind of took my train of thought on that one, where I was thinking of fixing things. But so instead, we're going to go with fixer, as in, so it's about this big crime that happened, and they spend forever detailing what the fixer does, and his catchphrase is, "All right, it's time for the fix."
Oh, wow. 2 in a row where Kiorein has decided to add the catchphrase from the title.
He loves catchphrases.
Yes, I mean, to be fair, so does TV. All right, let's see which one of you got the fix right. This is for all the marbles, as they say. Attorney and author Marcia Clark co-writes and executive produces a new legal drama about Maya Travis, an LA district attorney who suffers a devastating defeat when prosecuting an A-list actor for double murder. What could this be about? With her high-profile career derailed, she flees for a quieter life in Washington. 8 years later, when the same celebrity is under suspicion for another murder, Maya Travis is lured back to the DA's office for another chance at justice. So this is essentially fanfic for Marcia Clark. Anyway, yeah, that's a tough one. Stair had someone who fixes things, and Kiorein had, what was it, Kio?
Like a criminal fixer.
We both had people who fixed things, and they were both criminals.
Well,
but mine was more specific. Mine was specifically sporting events.
Yeah, I think I gotta give it to Stair.
What?
Why does Stair get it?
Why do I get it?
He said he...
Mine's about a... Mine's about a big crime.
All right, hold on.
And they're
I'm going to
fixing
put
it.
a minute on the clock. You guys each get 30 seconds to lay out your case.
Well, I think Keo should get it, but...
all right. Well, Keo wins. All right, it's settled.
What's my prize?
All right, Keo, you get this whole peanut.
How's
Congrats, buddy.
Oh my god, I'm going to savor this nut.
Yeah, there you go, Keo. You get my nut.
It's warm.
Yeah, I've been holding on to it for a bit. All right.
Thank you, Swanson.
Anytime. And that's been...
Why are you going, Stair?
It looks tasty.
I was thinking about nuts. I want to know how that nut tastes.
How that nut tastes?
Okay, well, maybe I'll share it with you. Since you were so gracious as to say I should win.
Wait, is this a return of our classic segment? What's that nut? How's that nut taste?
Both me and Keo are going to get some of that nut.
All right. Well, that's been Guess Who's Coming to the Midseason TV Lineup.
Da 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 da.
You need to edit in some canned applauses and canned laughter, Swanson.
That sounds like work.
Yeah.
And now, it's time for our main event of the evening. We're talking about
another TV show.
Yeah.
With two guys solving mysteries.
Only this time it's a little different.
Yeah.
There's no aliens. I guess technically there were no aliens in the other one either.
Well, we don't know if there's no aliens yet.
It's true.
You know, the first season, there was a contingent of people who thought it was going to tie into the H.P. Lovecraft mythos.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense because the first season was weirdly mystical and stuff.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah, it didn't happen though.
If just some fish people showed up and they had to kill them. All
right, here is our thoughts on True Detective Season 3. What do you think, guys? You like it? What's going on? How you feeling about this?
He had a nice voice. The True Detective.
It's true. So True Detective is back after 5 years away, something close to that.
Wow, I can't even remember that far back.
I think it's...
I can say one thing about the show for sure, and that man is definitely a detective.
Some would say
Really?
he is the true one. True dyed-in-the-blue detective. Anyway, yeah, we get...
Do you think someone's going to say that to him? Like, turn and look at him and say, "You, sir, are a true detective."
I think that's how it ends, yeah.
You are a true detective. For that, we award you the title of Big Boss.
Yeah, so the theme song for this this season of True Detective immediately screams, "This is an HBO drama."
Yeah.
And it's from there we get to some pretty wild time jumping going on.
Yes, there's like 4 layers here.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he just had like some kind of like condition where his hair got all gray.
Like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation. Except it's just a sad old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 different timelines that we're jumping between. And I mean, honestly, they do it pretty well. With the little cuts and the moments where he'll like turn to the camera and be like, "All right, none of that. We're going back."
We're home. I'm going home.
Yeah.
That's,
He
yeah,
does
that's
actually
fine.
say that at one. Or he says, "I'm done," or something like that. "I don't want to talk about this no more." And they jump back.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah. But yes, this follows a case that this current True Detective, played by Academy Award winner Marshala Ali, and also former Luke Cage bad guy.
Yes, that's what he's known for.
Yeah, he's clearly known for those 7 episodes of Luke Cage he was in before they foolishly murdered him.
He got murdered.
Anyway, he plays Wayne Hayes, which is the most detective-ass name, until you hear his partner's name, which is Roland West.
That's a detective. That should be the true detective.
Yeah, look,
based on the
listen
name.
to that guy's name. And they catch a case, and it's not a case they were expecting.
It was a murder.
Yeah.
They would never.
They don't.
expect
They
that.
do not like murder cases. Like detectives are just like, all right, what are we gonna be detecting? A theft?
Murder? They get real surprised whenever you say that you're
Oh,
detecting
man.
a murder.
Couldn't you have given us a rape?
Okay.
Those are easy.
But yeah, we're jumping between the original year when he caught the case, which is in like the early 80s. I think 1980 exactly.
Yeah, and then like 1990.
Yeah,
when something came.
something
When the
comes up.
police got.
Something comes up, and it's not good.
Oh. Oh, did you know that
Marshala.
Marshala Ali played the Prowler in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Whoa. That's cool. I still haven't seen that movie.
All
but,
right. I haven't either. We're bad people.
Yeah. I probably should have seen that movie before I saw Bird Box. Anyway.
Oh, good. You should have also seen Dragon Ball Super before you saw Bird Box.
Sure.
It's out in theaters now.
I was waiting for when that would show up on this podcast. And then it's also 10, and then we get 20 years from the moment the crime happened, when he's an older man who's suffering from memory loss.
And he's talking to a true crime show.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Because he's the true detective.
But also because it's, appropriate for the time. Actually, I don't know if it's exactly 10 years, because it seems more modern day with what they're doing with true crime stuff. So
Yeah.
it might have been like 25 to 30 years.
He was like, "Yep, that was a crime, all right."
That crime, it sure was a crime that happened. Anyway.
That child done got killed.
Yeah. We first get flashbacked all the way to the first timeline when he says that he remembers that day because it was the day Steve McQueen died, which is the most detective novel ass line I've ever heard.
And that's when I realized that Steve McQueen, the actor, and the director aren't the same person.
Yep, they're almost generations apart, you would say.
I really thought it was amazing that the dude from The Great Escape could direct Magic Mike.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing, isn't it? Anyway, with these kids, they go out and they go to the park to go see a dog or something. They're going to see someone's dog, and we get a lot of them driving by and a lot of people like ominously waving at them.
That's what happens before crimes.
There's just a lot of like slow motion of them driving by on a bike, and then they like some people wave at them, or like people look at them.
And then these stupid these ominous teens in a purple car.
And the music is like building up, and they're like, and it's like they can't be any more obvious that these kids are doomed.
These are some dead ass children.
These children can't be more dead than they are going to be in about 2 minutes.
Can you imagine if like somehow the kids were just fine, and the rest of the episode was just like the guy like saying, "Man, it's slow around here these days."
Well, spoilers, Keo.
Well, you're half you're half right.
Spoilers, Keo, but you're half correct. Well, I don't know if she's just fine.
Like 25% at least.
I don't know if she's just fine, but anyway, yeah, a boy and his sister go missing, and who gets the call but True Detective and his trusty assistant, white guy with mustache. Or I guess he doesn't. He just has a beard. I don't know. He drinks a lot.
Yeah.
He has facial hair.
The dad's the
Partner
one
detective.
with the '80s mustache.
Yeah.
So they go to answer this call, which they get while they're busy doing cops in the
Hanging out
doing
the
cops in the
junkyard.
'80s stuff, like drinking beer and looking for someone to beat up.
I wish I had a junkyard to hang out at with my friends.
Yeah, that
Don't we all?
wouldn't it be great to be in a junkyard?
Just drinking alcohol and shooting a revolver at things.
but not foxes.
Yeah, I think that's like obvious symbolism right there.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious symbolism.
That's sure gonna mean something thematically if you.
They're
ever
probably
see it
gonna
now.
like whenever they find the person that they're gonna like falsely accuse of the crime, he's gonna try and shoot him, and then Marshala Ali is gonna be like, no.
Well, yeah.
It'll also be a callback.
Or maybe he lets the killer get away.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe. Is the killer the fox? I guess that makes sense. Allegorically,
Well, I think it would be really easy for a fox to kill a child.
the killer is the fox. He let it go.
Wait, how? You have to be a real small child for a fox to kill.
No. Like, I think any size child.
What if it was just a bunch of dumpster rats?
Like, if it was like a 7-foot tall 8-year-old, a fox could kill him or her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about all that.
How many foxes kill a child every year, Sarah?
I don't want to look that up.
Also, yeah, a child. I don't know if it's a yearly statistic.
I think it happens at least once a decade. In
Yeah,
America.
well,
it's probably more common in the rest of the world.
you think the rest of the world is more common? Like in the UK, they have a surge of foxes stealing children.
Well, after Brexit, it will be very common.
Yeah.
There will be packs of dogs just running the streets.
Theresa May says not to worry about the roaming packs of dogs. Yeah, so they eventually answer their call, and they come to a dad who is distraught. He's distraught, and his mustache is distraught. And we learned that the situation at home is not ideal.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's
here.
almost like they're setting up 8 episodes worth of mystery.
Like, there's a line the husband has when the wife comes back. Maybe if you were home instead of out looking for dick.
I knew you were gonna say that line.
Which reminds me of... Yeah, because it reminds me of Swanson.
What, because I'm never home?
No, because you say dick like that whenever you have to dramatically
I don't know what you're talking
emphasize
about.
it.
Dick?
How about this dick?
Wow, they're doing the dick thing.
The dick thing? Yeah, that's what Keo always
You gotta
says.
start pronouncing dick.
Keo always loudly says, they're doing the dick thing.
And then it's like... And then there's a peephole in the child's bedroom,
which we
closet.
learned was probably because of the uncle who was staying over. I guess it was the uncle. I don't know. Well, you missed.
I hope it was the uncle. I'm not making any conclusions just yet on who made that peephole.
Well, I mean, they said they made it pretty clear because they said that the kid was sleeping on the couch when his uncle was using his room. And it makes more sense than the kid doing it, probably.
Lesson learned, don't trust uncles.
Also, with how the episode ended, I'm pretty sure the uncle might come back into play.
Ominous uncle.
We got a real uncle situation.
We got an ominous uncle situation, over. That's probably what he did after they cut away. Like, he asked for his address, and then he was like, "We got an ominous uncle situation, over." Anyway, so yeah, we get some more looking around. We get proof that he is in fact the truest of detectives.
Because he was in Vietnam.
We do get a thing later, like when they're searching the woods for the children, where like he goes off on his own, and all the like people who are helping the two detectives are like the two true detectives are like, "Man, shouldn't he be like out here helping us? He's going the wrong way." He's like, "Oh nah, you see, he was working long reconnaissance over in Vietnam. And that means he's ideal for detectiving."
He's a true tracker. Also, he hunts boars with muskets that he makes himself.
And and sure enough, he is in fact a true detective. But we'll get back to that in a sec. We see them go to the school where he meets up with his future wife. His wife. And yeah, they flirt, sort of.
They flirt about dead kids.
They say, extreme grief brings love in the air.
Also, they interview the teens, and the white guy doesn't know what Black Sabbath is.
Yeah, he's like, "Tell me what that is again." What's it? Kids doing this thing called Black Sabbath.
That's satanic, right? It sounds pretty satanic.
And then they investigate these strange noises, and there's this old lady praying to Satan with a sacrificial dagger.
Yeah. That's a reference for, like, one person, maybe.
I think more people have seen that than listen to this podcast.
I guess. So, yeah, this is... We get some more flirting from them. Then we cut to the yard that is straight out of the movie Seven. They go to this Native American man's yard. He collects trash all throughout the city.
I really hate small town America. It fills me with an incredible dread.
Yeah, it sure does, don't it? So yeah, they go to this guy's trash yard, and it's just full of like anything that could be hiding a body. Just so much body, like just so many things used for body storage,
including coffins.
But they don't.
That's like a detective's playground.
But they don't find anything too suspicious yet.
Well, maybe.
That's true.
They might. We got an unreliable narrator because when he's investigating the house, he immediately decides he doesn't want to talk about things anymore.
Which seems to set up that they do actually end up prosecuting this Native American guy, and he gets off.
Can you imagine if the detectives got like really giddy when they saw like all of the hiding places?
Oh man, take a look at this.
Oh man, the body's probably... Well, I'm sure detectives get relieved when it looks like it's going to be really easy to solve the
murder. Think he seemed very relieved when he found the body.
Well, that's because it was very complicated.
Like, what do you mean by relieved? Do you think they're just like... I don't think their first reaction is, phew, glad I found this body.
I think...
I think they're relieved when they find the kid safe and sound.
But then they're also relieved if it's like really obvious who did it.
I guess they're relieved when they arrest the killer and he gets convicted. They're probably relieved then too.
Well, if you want a good look into their psychology, you should read David Simon's book, Homicide: Year on the Killing Streets.
Or watch the show Homicide: Life on the Streets.
No,
what, a good show.
Oh yeah, but it's not realistic.
It has Lance Riddick.
So did they detail the detective?
Yeah, the book. Oh, the
Go
show
ahead.
or the book?
The book?
Yes. David Simmons really goes into it.
And he says that detectives, when they find the body, they're just like, whew.
They high five with their partner and they're like, hell yeah! Got him!
Yes. Boy, I'm glad we didn't lose it.
So yeah. We later get them searching the woods, and because Marshala Ali is the true detective, he finds some.
He immediately finds the death
Well,
cave.
not immediately. It seems like it did take a bit. He finds a path that leads to the death cave. One that has some weird carving or some weird statues. Not statues. What do you? Dolls.
Like.
Yeah, some weird Wicker Man
like,
shit.
You know. Yes.
Although it's probably more Native American. And he finds the body of the boy.
Dead boy.
He finds dead boy.
Who's like
and
who's posed in a praying thing.
Yeah. And laying on a stone slab.
Maybe it's like a Celtic sacrifice.
Celtic? Not Celtic?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Celtic.
so maybe the Boston Celtics found the boy and put him in
and killed him.
They dribbled on him so hard.
Oh no!
That sounds like a really excruciating way to get executed.
They dunked on him so hard. They had that their only course of action was to give him a Boston Celtics funeral.
That seems like a sacrilegious way to murder a child.
Can you imagine playing basketball with someone and they dunk on you so efficiently that you just your heart just stops?
Yeah, your heart explodes.
You should play Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Keo.
Is that what happens?
Yes.
Yeah, their heart explodes out of their chest.
Basketball gets outlawed after someone dunks so hard all of New York gets destroyed.
Was it Charles Barkley?
No, but he's framed for it, I think.
That sounds really good.
Charles Barkley, of course, known for his dunks.
How do you frame someone for destroying a city?
Look, you can frame lots of people for lots of things, Kiorein.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of evidence left behind.
So how do you frame someone?
Oh, good question.
Thinking.
Well, what, do you think Larry Bird did it?
Yes.
Or Magic Johnson?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Oh.
Yes. All of them. They conspire together.
Oh, maybe that is the thing. Anyway, so yeah, understandably, Marshala Ali freaks out at seeing this body. And then, because he can't find the girl, he becomes obsessed.
Presumably.
We have to assume.
There's probably going to be. We got 8 more episodes of this.
7. But going back to the other 2 timelines because it intercuts in between throughout this show. We don't get a whole lot in 10 years later because it's sort of a narration timeline. He's giving a deposition pretty much because new information has been added. And we find out why we don't get much in this at the end when the big twist is revealed that they found fingerprints.
There was a burglary.
There's a burglary, and they found fingerprints that match the missing girl.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, but what if it's just Clayface?
He came all the way down from Gotham.
Well, Batman
is Clayface known for just murdering people because?
No, but I think...
I actually don't remember what Clayface's whole deal is, other than being like giant, made of clay.
He was a movie actor, and then he got turned into clay.
And now he's angry about it.
I mean, wouldn't you be angry if you got turned into clay, Kiorein?
He got made into clay so he could go talk down Gilgamesh, who was getting too egotistical and abusing his powers.
I'd probably be more sad than angry.
Wouldn't you want to take it out on someone? Maybe someone who like dresses as a bat?
Yes.
Well, if the bat like pushed me into a big vat of
clay
over at the clay factory.
At the Ace Clay plant. The Ace Clay quarry.
Anyway,
if that's how it went down, yeah, I want to get that bat.
We don't get a whole lot. We get a little bit more in modern day, where old man Marshala interacts with his son a little bit, who seems to be his primary caretaker, and decides to not do the interview once the Native American man is brought up.
Probably because he's sent into jail and he got murdered. Or raped.
Okay. Why would he care about that?
Actually, well, because he didn't do the crime, actually.
Well, yeah, I guess that is true.
He's obviously the false.
And we learned that in this latest timeline, his wife is dead. But she was a popular offer at some point, including writing.
She probably did it.
She did it for her book.
You know how those creatives get.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like that rumor that Truman Capote murdered those people to write In Cold Blood. Get cultured, Stairmaster. God, don't know who Truman Capote is.
Stair, I thought you were the book boy here.
Oh.
Anyway, even I've read In Cold Blood.
In Cold Blood is like in the Torah, like the
in the Torah.
No. It's like the original crime novel,
which is like what she's sort of like aping. What they're aping with her is that it's like a classic of crime literature.
Murder.
Well, Truman Capote didn't actually kill them. I was joking.
Oh, that seems like a theory people would make.
Yeah, probably. Although it would have been hilarious if Truman Capote was capable of murdering someone. Anyway. That
was good, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty good times.
Maybe I'll watch season 1.
I mean, you should. Maybe don't watch season 2. It's kind of iffy. Season 1's great, though. Anyway, any final thoughts on...
Is there any crime in season 1?
Any final thoughts on True Detective?
No.
Yeah, I liked it.
I have no more thoughts in general at all.
Wow. Kieran's thoughtless.
He was just like, this is boring. I hate it.
Oh, I liked it.
The end.
It's a tune in for me.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a little by the numbers for like a detective show, but that's fine because the lead role is very, very good.
Yes. Yeah, I think this would probably be a tune-out if it wasn't.
Yeah, probably. If they had like a weaker actor in the lead role, I don't think it would work nearly as well as it does.
Yeah, this would basically be The Sinner without him.
Yes, 100%. Although there isn't I guess there is kind of a long, laborious scene of the children right before they get murdered. So yeah, it is sort of like The Sinner.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a tune in for True Detective, and that's it. That's about it for this week, guys.
Wait, did Kia say tune in? Okay.
Wow,
all right.
We did it, boys. Another episode under the belt, the first of 2019.
And hopefully at least 2 more to come.
Of the year? yeah, hopefully.
2 more years to live.
Okay.
We made a lot of enemies, Swanson.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we did. Yeah, we did literally make enemies of the government by talking about Project Blue Book. Anyway.
Also, you did steal money from that homeless man with the big knife.
Well, yeah, but what's he gonna do? He's homeless.
I
There's
can
also
think of
that-
one very big thing he could do.
There's also that paraplegic guy we call Wheels who builds robots.
Ah,
And
what's
his
he
family
gonna
died.
do? He's just Wheels.
I guess nothing.
Our motto for 2019 is, we're going to live forever.
Haha. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Before we go out, though, if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at the TV Tuners email address at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kiorein?
Oh my god. I forgot we even had an email.
At gmail.com.
It's TV Tuner at email.example.com.
That's right. And as always, we are on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Jesse Swanson.
I'm at Twitter at Stairmaster 2.
I'm on Twitter.
Yeah?
Good.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, at Real
You
Kiorein.
can find the show on Twitter at TV Tuners. You can also use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying.
Or hashtag give me that dick dong.
Well, yeah. Demand that CBS give us that dick dong for that show that I don't think is even on anymore.
Oh. Well, it was a web
Yeah.
series. It was for a streaming service.
Show me
I
that
think.
dick. So they could show me that dick dong. They just refuse because they're cowards.
Very easily.
Dick cowards.
Coward Broadcasting Service. When they should be Cock Broadcasting Service.
I want CBS to be out there getting that dick! Anyway. Yeah.
He did the dick thing.
I done did the dick thing. Yeah, you can find us on all of the podcatchers of your choice. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher Play, Google Play, Stitcher, all of them. You can rate, review, do all the fun stuff that gets us noticed. Give us 5 stars if you would. That would be very nice. Very nice indeed.
Are we on Roddercaster?
Probably. I know we're on sleeveys.com. You can head over there and find us. Alright, that's it for this week's episode of TV Tuners. Until next week, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I found them.
Not like this.